right? As I'm talking to her, if I'm in a lifestyle situation, this gal knows absolutely this person is trying to have sex with me. In this environment, it's like, oh, this old man's just being nice. And you start to read signs within the vanilla world that don't translate in the lifestyle world. And you're like, oh my God, they're so not into us. And you're like, no, they're not into anyone because they're not in the lifestyle.
They're on vacation with their girlfriend.
Right. Their objective tonight is to not have sex with strangers.
Right.
That is not,
exactly.
That is not on their list tonight. And what's weird about it is being in the lifestyle, it is very difficult for us to not get that through our thick skulls. Like we cannot sort of understand. I mean, logically, when you sort of step back from it, you go, I'm a moron. Why am I thinking this way? But there's this very addictive behavior that coincides with it that you become a little mental where you're like, why would people not want this to end in an orgy? This is so silly. You go on vacation and you try to fuck people.
That's how you have the opportunity.
That's what you do.
But you think about like when, we were in college and spring break, and that sort of was in spring break, it's okay. Or the whole like in Vegas, you leave it in Vegas. So there is it's like there is still a chance. We know that there's a chance that people will just be like, fuck it, let's have sex with random people.
Yeah, it's true. And times are changing and the youngins are changing and things are a lot different now for sure. But couples are a different story. Like you meet a single guy on a trip and there's a single person on a trip because these people were single, and you meet other single people, then obvious. But you meet a nice couple that's on vacation, you don't immediately think, oh, this couple is trying to get us in bed. I was talking to one couple in the pool that I was not all attracted to in the slightest. Mm-hmm. And I was making two faux pas at the same time.
What did you do?
I was making teabag jokes. I was making too many teabag jokes. And every time I laughed, I kept touching her shoulder. And I caught myself after the second time. And I'm like, stop it. You're making teabag jokes and you're touching this woman's shoulder. This is not a lifestyle event. Fucking knock it off, man.
I think I know who you're talking about. They were around our age.
Yeah.
So it was something that, definitely a married couple of our age would probably be like, what is going on? Like, why does he keep touching her? It's not like it was a...
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't finger banging her in the pool or anything, but like I was obviously making... Because when I made the second teabag joke, I saw their face like, okay, we get it. And then that's when I realized, take your hand off her shoulder.
Oh my God.
And let's
so
not do that. Yeah, I know. I'm embarrassing.
How did you peel out of their conversation?
Which one?
Just like, all right, it's nice to meet you guys.
I just at that moment said, stop with the innuendos and the touching, because this is not that. Like, stop it and stop it. I'm so used to being in that environment. It's very, very difficult.
It is weird because we don't practice a vanilla world. And we are, I think, probably in the minority in that sense because, a lot of people, they come on vacation to lifestyle places, but then they go back to their jobs and everything else. And they obviously don't work in a lifestyle hospital or a lifestyle school or whatever. So they're better at it than I think. We just don't do it.
No, we don't. But we've been doing this long enough, and I know this, and I'm going to end this here. I know that every lifestyler gets off that plane, or gets on that plane. They get on that plane, right? Mm-hmm. And they start looking through the plane. And they're like, I wonder who's in a lifestyle. That couple's cute. I wonder, I hope they're going to the same resort we're going to.
Yeah, we used to do that in customs.
Everybody does it. They still talk about it to this day. They're like, well, there was one couple, I think they were, oh no, they were kind of, don't know I don't know. They were kind of looking over, and you're like, but they're not.
Right.
Or
you just reading stuff, making it up in your head.
yeah, we just sometimes get into these mindsets that are just like we want to believe that they're all thinking the same things that we are thinking, but we forget the struggle of how open we are. We forget that struggle of the conversations that you have to have with your wife, and the struggles it was to get to where you are, to be so open, and unfortunately some people are in a marriage where maybe one wants it and the other one doesn't want it, or they're not happy sexually, or here's one, they just want to be monogamous. That's actually a thing.
It is.
You know, we as lifestylers have to stop sometimes thinking that ethical non-monogamy, which is a strange thing, because you know, monogamy is ethical, and you know, you don't put ethical in front of monogamy. It is a thing that you should respect as much as we want
to be respected.
You can't ever look down on. We sort of, not that we look down on monogamy. We sure as hell are like, come on, you should try it. That's hypocritical, because
we're not respecting their choices.
Of course, because that would be like a monogamous person saying, come on, you should really get back into playing monogamous. Is that a word?
Monogamously?
Monogamously? You should get back to being a good Christian.
Yeah.
Or you should get back to focusing just on one another. You'd be like, I'm offended that you just said that, right? But we say it all the time, like, come on, why don't you just take it for a ride? How do you know if you don't like it or you don't try? So, you know, we can be pretty creepy sometimes, especially at vanilla hotels. So I learned that these are the things I learned. I'm right.
Yes, that's very important.
And I'm also very creepy at vanilla resorts. And I think that we assume too much sometimes.
And we get used to our openness. I think what you're saying, like, we're so used to being this open. And even like on the dance floor, I was like, I lifted up a skirt once or twice, and
whose?
Our friends.
Oh.
And like 4 of the girls were like, oh my God, what are you doing? And I was like, and she's like, it's okay. We're just my friend. We're just being silly. But in vanilla world, it's like their reaction was as if you had opened your raincoat and just showed your junk. That's how their faces were. And I'm like, I forget to look through those glasses.
It's weird because I took my dick out and nobody said anything. No,
it's because you weren't on the lighted dance floor.
Took it out and walked around for a while.
It's good to be reminded of the life we left behind.
When we're floating up like helium.